Liz Barfield, the president, and I call the meeting to order. We will start with a moment of reflection, meditation, or prayer, or anything you can engage in to have some silent activity. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Please join us in the flag salute. Tom Cooper is going to do that, and Lynn Weber is going to start us, followed by the, four-way test with Lynn Weber. So we'll start with flag salute.
Please join me in our pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me in the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do.
Is it the truth? Is it fair, all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And will be fun. I didn't forget. Please remain standing. Today is extra special. There's no whistles going on, says Judy. She thought I forgot. Come on, Judy and Lynn, let's go. Oh, you got me to say that. Let's go.
I brought out an assistant. Okay, the lyrics are kind of tough. I want you all to join me in Boom Suit. Okay.
I'll put it back up. I'll split it. I don't.
So if you don't know, for those guys who have, some clubs in Rotary sing every single week, not us. We only sing for special occasions, and today's a special occasion to kick off the football season. And I hope this whole club heard me say Boomer Sooner. You hear me? You're not normally in my club, or you're a guest, and I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan. So there's that. But I'm going to the game. I respect OU, so I'm going to the game tomorrow. So anyway, real quick, quote of the day. Thank you for a song led by Judy and her assistant Lynn back there. Quote of the day: resilience is born in adversity. Inspiration comes from setbacks. Let what challenges you have make you stronger. All right, and we have guests. So, want to start with Stephen Crandall since you're first? Sure.
Well, speaking of starting, the Jayhawks are starting the football season tonight. Do we get to sing for KU? All right, okay, all right.
Who's first on the list?
Oh,
You are. With Gary.
I get to introduce my boss. Okay, my other boss. So, this guy, no, I'm just kidding. Glad to have you back, Nick. All right. Carrie started with us in March, and she is our new Director of Communications. She's the best boss you can ask for next to Nick, and I'm just delighted. Nick and Holly, of course, speaking, and she wanted to come hear about all the good things we're doing plus she wanted to spy on me, probably. But I'm delighted to have Carrie with us. Bill, Chief, where are you?
Yeah.
There you go, Chief.
Once again, I have today with me Jenny Gidler.
I feel like I already remember.
She will be turning in her membership application.
Thank you for being here again. We're looking for that membership application.
Jamie, you have a guest.
Yes, this is my cousin husband, Lucas Swain. He's the general manager of Van's Big Stand on Porter, so he'll be a very busy man here in about,
Now.
yes, now. So he fed the football team last night to ensure that they had their bellies full and they were ready to play.
My guest today is Charlie Nicholson. He is a commercial realtor, he's a commercial owner, he's a manager, and domain, and he's also a repeat offender. Rick has brought him in here 2 or 3 times, and I believe you have an application.
We also have Mark Craig as a guest.
I have a guest today. This is Zane Woods. Zane has recently moved to Norman Reese and started working for Habitat for Humanity. His official title is Vice President and Donor and Community Engagement. Interesting note about Zane, he's a vegan, competitive bodybuilder. But I can beat him up.
Lucas, is that okay? All right.
And Alice has.
River was here long enough to help Alice get here and get her lunch. Perfect.
Okay. Well, I'm so glad we have all these guests here today. Thank you so much for joining our club meeting today. And if you're interested in membership, you can talk with myself or Stephen Coranda after the meeting. So thank you very much for being here. Speaking of no longer being guests, we have an induction today. So I'll have my dear friend, Jamie Swain, to please come up here and join me. Interesting fact, she just got back from Puerto Rico with her son on a language immersion trip, and they gave me these earrings, so I want to honor her son and my godson to know that I was wearing his earrings today on her induction day, since he couldn't be here. He did ask to get out of school for this, though. I just want to let you know. So, on behalf of the members of the Norman Rotary Club, I am delighted to extend my warm welcome to our newest member and my dearest friend, Jamie Swain. Joining Rotary is not about becoming a member of a club. It's about becoming a part of a global community dedicated to making a positive difference in the world. As a Rotary Club, we uphold the values of service, integrity, diversity, and leadership. We are united in our commitment to improving lives locally and globally through our various service projects and initiatives. Jamie, we're excited to have you join us on this journey of service and fellowship. Your unique skills, experiences, and perspectives will enrich our club and continue to contribute to our collective efforts to create a lasting change. As you embark on your Rotary journey, which you know I've been on for many, many years, you've been a part of it through me, you will have the opportunity to connect with fellow members, participate in meaningful projects, and engage in activities that align with your passion and interests. We encourage you to take full advantage of all of the Rotary that Rotary has to offer, and for you to share your ideas and aspirations with us. She has lots of ideas. Once again, Jamie, welcome to Norman Rotary Club. We are thrilled to have you as a part of our Rotary family, and we look forward to having you make a positive impact in our community and beyond. Last but not least, announcements. You got your bill from Steve Wood today. Thank you for that. But in your bill also came tickets for our Rotary Road Rally, Bike Ride, 5K Run, and Festival. Woo! That's a mouthful. And with that, the tickets that are included, we don't want you to actually just buy your own tickets. We really want you to go out in the community and promote it. So let me tell you what comes with the tickets. Tickets come with, they're to the festival. So if they want to participate, if you're selling them, but somebody wants to participate in a bike ride or the 5K walk, run, then they would, but they need to pay for it separately. And then if they want to come to the festival part, it's from 9 until 3. We changed our time, 2 to 3, because the 5K will end and the festival will start. The festival includes live music, we have bands playing. The ticket also includes food from one of our food trucks. We're gonna have some Dexo there, launching their new food truck. We appreciate the Norman Public School System to help us out with that. And they're gonna have smoked meats, a smoked burger, and I think smoked brisket. Thank you, Nick. And we'll also have the learning bus there from the Norman Public School System. We'll have the animals from the Norman shelter will be there, kind of all about literacy. It's fun for the whole family, but your ticket does include food from one of the, I didn't say the other food truck, I'm sorry. The other food truck is Midway Deli. So you can get food from either one of those two places, enjoy the music. We will have beer vendors there, Lazy Circle and 405 will both be there, but your ticket does not include that. So when you're selling these $15 tickets to others, or giving them out, you bought them all, that's fine, either way. We just want the community to come and see what we're doing for literacy in our community. So this really helps us be able to buy the bicycles and the other things that you're gonna hear about today from the school system. So it's great timing that you got your tickets today. Okay, I'm ready for, anybody else have any questions? No about that? Okay. Grant, will you please come up and introduce our guests today? Thank you all.
Oh, well, I don't know how to introduce Nick. I thought I was introducing Holly.
Oh, no.
I introduced Nick.
Oh.
We all know Nick. Nick Lorino, did I say it right? Okay, maybe eventually I'll get it right after a number of years. He's been our superintendent for 9 years now? 8 years, sorry. And he just told me that he's met with all the school teachers this year, the new school teachers, and he's met with all of them every year since then. So we all know Nick. He's here to talk to us. Thanks, Nick.
All right, so I'm almost 2 months into learning Italian, and I've been affirmed that it's Migliorino. You know, if it was Rizzo or if it was Migliorino, it would have 2 G's. But anyway, so it's Migliorino, G silent in Italian. But anyway, yeah, this is my 8th year as superintendent, and I was sharing with Craig earlier. I'm on my what the teachers have affectionately called the Y tour. I go around and meet all of our new teachers in their classrooms and literally ask them in front of their classes, why are you teaching? Why do you want to be here? Love it after lunch, especially in middle school, when I ask the teachers, why do you want to be here? Is it because of all the smiling, really shiny faces in this room right now? It's just a lot of fun, and if you guys could see the teachers that we have hired this year and last year, the excitement in their faces. I mean, we have the former drum major for OU as one of our music teachers, and just, oh my goodness, it is just such an exciting time in Norman Public Schools. We have one of the lowest turnover rates and the highest retention rates we've ever had, which is incredible. Average in Norman, 150 to 200 teachers a year in turnover, but that's less than like 8% of our total teaching staff. Just incredible. Public schools are doing great things. You may have heard districts around us are shrinking in enrollment. We're finally starting to grow. People are coming to Norman, and it's a good time. It's a good place. And if you haven't gone and toured any of our schools, maybe one in your neighborhood, and you want to, just let me know. But with that said, we couldn't do the great things we do in Norman Public Schools if it wasn't for our community, if it wasn't for Rotary and all the other people who pour into our schools each and every day. I think you guys have heard me say that. And with the success cycle, something, you know, right beside Craig when he had this vision and what we're going to do, it's just where it started and where it is now, just incredible things. And it's just one piece of the puzzle that makes our schools successful. And I can't wait for you to hear the successes and the energy from Holly McKinney, who's here speak in just a second about Success Cycle. But I just want you to know, if you're new to Rotary and you haven't seen me, I've missed a few meetings. But I will try to get here more often. Just know that if it wasn't for this Rotary Club, we would not have this opportunity. And the students that have been each and every one of you do is immeasurable. Even though you're going to see some measurements, it's not measurable, the impact that this club has made on Norman Public Schools. Although it may seem small, it's huge. And so with that, Executive Director of Student Learning for Norman Public Schools, Holly McKinney. If you saw the pictures going around up there, her hair has been cut. Anyway, Holly McKinney.
We'll see if I need anything. All right, I'm going to try to multitask. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Holly McKinney, and I get to be the Executive Director of Teaching and Learning for Norman Public Schools. And I don't say that lightly. I know everyone in this room knows the reputation and the quality that Norman Public Schools brings and the community support that Dr. Nick talked about. So thank you so much. I am very honored to be here to talk about celebrations. Now, a couple of things that jumped out to me earlier is we were inducting our new member, and as I know this Rotary is dedicated to making a positive difference, and I'd like to reiterate what Dr. Nick said. This program, I'm going to give you some numbers, I'll give you a little bit of measurements, I'm happy to answer questions. But really, I want to celebrate the success and the impact. So that's my word of the day is impact. So we're going to do a little bit of elementary. Turn to your neighbor and say, impact. That was not bad. That was better than the Boomer Sooner. All right, I'll take it. I don't know where I'm supposed to point this. There you go. So just a little bit of history, if you're not familiar. Craig Heaton, I've had the privilege to get to know and become friends with, had a vision in 2016. This was prior to me coming back to Norman. I started my career in Norman and came back to teaching career here. And the vision was to be able to motivate and reward students for coming to school. We cannot teach them, and they are not here. And so that's where it started. Then, you know, the horrible C word that I don't like to say anymore, COVID, happened, and we had to pause. And then it shifted our focus. Where Norman Public Schools has been focused on literacy and math and the core subjects and having rigorous learning and curriculum with multiple pathways and opportunities for our students. That has never changed as a focus for Norman Public Schools, but the focus shifted to literacy. Now I know that everyone in this room understands the impact of reading and the impact of literacy in a student's life, whether they're good at it, whether they start from the day they're born. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure, with your children and possibly grandchildren, read to them before they can even talk. We have students that don't have that. We have students that have huge libraries of books that their parents, their grandparents, their extended family have provided, and we have students that don't. We have students that are incredibly busy, that should read, but maybe they don't. And this program impacts from the very beginning, from pre-K on up, so they can have the mindset of the impact of reading can have on their lives. They create healthy habits in reading, and they can be successful in anything that they do. Our mission is to prepare and inspire all students to reach their full potential. And without being able to read, they won't be able to do that. So it's morphed a little bit. I am super proud to be part of a program. I just play a very small part that has raised, this is you, has raised over $84,000 this is the 8th year, minus the pause, that we will have this program in our schools in Norman. So turn to somebody, give them a high five or a fist bump or just a wink. That's huge. That's huge. So from the road rally to grants provided by Rotarians to, of course, Craig Heaton is at the heart of this. I don't know how many Walmart grants, Barnes & Noble's book fairs, but it's been a collective effort. That is huge. Talk about $84,000 and the impact that this program has had on thousands of our elementary school students. So when we shifted to reading just a little bit, we did use our criteria. We used our state assessment criteria, we used our reading benchmarks that we use in Norman as criteria, and we selected some schools that really had a large larger percent of students that were reading below grade level, that needed some help. We know that intrinsic motivation is super important, but when you are a struggling reader, sometimes it's hard to see success. Success happens in tiny, tiny steps. And so it's nice in these schools that students know that growth, whatever they may look like, they may not be on grade level, but they grow a little step, is seen, is encouraged, is recognized, and it's rewarded. So we have had 7 schools since we've done this in 21, and this year we're adding a new school. We're adding Reagan to that list. So thank you for that additional school. Ms. Tara Stevens is very excited to be able to be part of this program and to be able to introduce her staff and her students to the benefits of this. So a couple of things about reading. Impact. Impact is the word. I've shown this graphic every time I've been here. Here's the impact of reading 20 minutes per day, starting in kindergarten. If a student reads 20 minutes, now it doesn't have to be 20 minutes all at once. It could be 5 minutes on the rug while the teacher reads a story to them. It could be 5 minutes when they go to the library. It could be doing a picture walk on their own at a center. It could be at home reading to their dog or listening to an audiobook while they're reading Chatterpix or creating different things. 20 minutes a day, starting in kindergarten, results in students performing at the 90th percentile on national standardized tests. It introduces them to 1.8 million words versus a student that just reads 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes is not bad, but 5 minutes a day. They're only introduced to 282,000 words. That's a big difference. And they just scored the 50th percentile. Okay, that's not just struggling readers, that's just any student, any child that reads. All right, so we're talking about establishing habits. I love this, I wrote this down. I might have to find that on my cards somewhere because I never go by my script. I think Dr. Nick's the same way. But I wrote this quote down. I don't know if you guys have read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, but this is one of the very first things he says in his book. Tiny changes lead to remarkable results. Tiny changes lead to remarkable results. And this program and the impact that this program has encouraged, has motivated, and has rewarded students to read and try to read to that 20 minutes. It has a lifelong impact. This program has a lifelong impact. Now, part of the program is there's weekly incentives, so any student that reads a book, whether it's an adult reading it to them at school, maybe they read it on their own, maybe they read a chapter, because maybe it's a long book, they get entered into a weekly drawing, and they get Barnes & Noble gift cards where they then get to pick books from Barnes & Noble, and they get a book to take home. Right? We want to encourage reading. They get to pick a book of their choice, something they're interested in. Monthly, this was new, was it new last year? Has it just been 1 year? 2 years, 2 years ago. This will be the 3rd year. Once a month, we get drawings, and a student will get a nook. The really cool thing is we don't just hand them a device, but our librarians sync it to Sora, which is our database that syncs to our school libraries, as well as a Pioneer Library database. It is appropriate in its level for elementary readers, so they don't have access to the adult books. And they have access to millions of books to read. Not only that, but then the librarian checks in with them and sees if they need help, makes sure they talk to their parents about the purpose of this, and they just encourage them to read. They can bring the nook to school and read, they can take it home and read with it, it's their nook. So again, exposure to libraries when they may not have a library at home. And then every semester, the start of it is the bicycles, right? We want to encourage a healthy lifestyle, we want to encourage something healthy to go with that, and that's a bicycle, helmets, and blocks every semester, 2 per school. So, before I talk a little bit, you guys have heard me talk for a couple of years, but I've asked a few principals to give some testimonials and some stories, and asked them to also ask some students. So I want you to hear from them how impactful this program has been. Same button.
Chris Curley, I'm the principal of Wilson Elementary, and I want to say thank you for allowing us to participate in the Rotary Read for Success program. Our students and teachers work really hard on improving reading achievement here at school. They set goals, and those goals can look really different depending on a student's background and depending on their grade level. But one thing that we can all do when we come together is celebrate. So I want to say thank you for providing the resources to allow us to do that. It was really fun for me to sit down this week and talk to the students about what it specifically meant to them. So I hope you enjoy hearing from our school, and once again, thanks for all you do.
So we actually have a lot of ways that we work with students. We'll read with them whole groups, some of it's done quarterly all together, and then we'll have small groups. And in those small groups, I'll notice some progress. Students who are just participating, they learn a new skill, have that aha moment, and then they're able to apply it. We also see some of that in our online platforms with Lexia, or reading their epic books. And so I just notice when they're making a lot of progress, like they learned a new skill and they've applied it. I see Lexia scores going up and levels getting passed. And that's how I decide, boy, wow, this student's doing great, and I need to submit their name for all of their reading accomplishments.
My teacher was Miss Kendall last year, and I hope to read more fluently and pause whenever there's commas and stop at other periods. I was reading, and I was like, oh, what is this bar? I remember this bar keep would like say the letters and all that. And that's how now I know English. Last year, my teacher that helped me become a better reader was Miss McAllister, and my mother, because my mother wanted me to read a lot of the Sequoia books, and Miss McAllister, we needed to read books for the Sequoia Battle of the Books Challenge.
Really fun.
So, I mean, whenever those students accomplish it, I know that they have some internal, moments where they feel great about it, but also, just seeing them get that award, they don't know they're getting it. It's unexpected. I don't even know they're getting it. And so their name gets read, and I hear, Mrs. Shaw's class, third grade, and then they say a name, and they're like, what? And they run up, and I've even had where, of course, I message the parent when they have some large prize. The parent's like, why is this note coming home? Why did my child have a bicycle? So I tell them they were nominated for some of their reading successes, and they won this prize, and so, of course, the parents were really proud, and everyone's so excited. Even when you see a former student winning, and they're not currently reading with me, I just know that those are big moments for them and their families.
Well, I got really excited. I didn't even know what they were going to call me, but it was like a surprise to me. When I got selected for an award, it was breathtaking because one, I've never gotten one. And your heart just jumps up when they say your class, and then when they say your name, you just jump up all in entirety, and I'm always like, please be me, please be me, please be me. And then when I got it, I was like, it's me. That's so crazy. Okay, so last year, whenever she called my name, I'm like, what? I was not expecting that because I always hope to say, her say my name, or whoever, say my name, and they're like, Nora Evans, and it was just amazing to win a bike because I was so proud of myself because I never won a bike before.
We are so thankful for the success cycles of the Rotary Club in Norman, for providing books, Nooks and Bites to our students who have grown exponentially in their reading progress. This type of generosity and support has grown our students' love for learning, hearing their excitement buzzing in the classrooms that they get to shop for their books, and once they do, sharing their book recommendations has helped them celebrate the love of learning and the effort it takes to be an avid and successful reader. So thank you, Norman Rotary Club, for ensuring that our students have an opportunity to earn these items based on the growth and effort they put into their work reading. Getting to see our students excited about these bites, nooks, and books is so special, and we couldn't do this without you. So thank you so much for all of your support and all that you do to make sure that reading is a success, and that so are our students at Madison Elementary.
Hi, I'm Esther. I'm in the third grade at Madison. I got a nook from Norman Rotary Club. Thank you.
I love that. And thank you. So I love hearing from students. Those are just a couple of examples and I don't know if you've noticed or not, but when they started talking about when they were a winner, their face just lit up. From our friend that was a non-English speaker to learn to speak and to read in English, to our student that said that she was so proud of herself. And so while there are multiple layers and so many variables to increasing reading and reading scores, in Norman, our trajectory and our data trend is going up for reading. We worked at the foundational level first, plugging those gaps, making sure with phonics, and I don't know if you guys remember Hooked on Phonics, worked for me. I think I skipped phonics when I was little, because I've learned a lot since then. But from those foundational reading skills, because we know that when they start school, they learn how to read. But as they go through school, they read to learn, and we know that's critical. But the impact that this program continues to make is incredible. So year number 8, here's the impact that this program will continue to have. We have 8 schools that are participating this year. That's a little over 22,900 students just for this year. From the 8 schools that are participating, the average of those 8 scores, 8 out of 10 students qualify for free reduced meal services. That's incredible. So 8 out of 10 students may or may not have someone at home to model reading, to ask them about reading, to maybe have a library reading. And we know we model and we celebrate success at school, but that home piece is critical to literacy as well. So the impact of reading, I don't know if you knew this or not, I was looking up some statistics. We all know reading is good. We know reading is important, and reading is, you have to be able to read in order to be successful. We know that low 3rd grade reading scores, they build prisons off of those, which is really sad. I don't really like to think about that, right? We're trying to defy those odds. But reading also decreases stress by 68%. It decreases anxiety. It increases empathy and social awareness and being able to be social with others. It increases critical thinking, increases creativity, all of those things, is what we call soft skills. We can't be a successful, productive citizen or adult without having those skills. And I'm going to tell you, I know you probably have been listening to the news, the students that we have in our classrooms, increasingly, we have high anxiety. We have depression. We have trauma. And just by the mindset of reading, and I can, and the small, tiny habits of just reading a little bit each day can improve the quality of life exponentially. And thank you, because this program, while it's hard to correlate directly that this program leads to high reading scores, there's a lot of qualitative data that says this is a program that continues to see kids grow. So I appreciate the time to just to share a little bit with you, and then we may have a few minutes for some questions I'm happy to ask. Yes, sir. Come right back here, start up here.
Wes, no, I got a microphone.
Oh, perfect.
I'm totally impressed with this program, and very proud of it, but I do have one question. So many times we have great programs, we sometimes leave the back door open, and when this got started originally, it was to encourage just attendance for those kids to actually show up in class. Is there some way, or has there been some way, or do you know if, because of where it sits now with this great program, have we left the back door open, and are those numbers going, attendance-wise, going back down, or going up, or no effect, or do you know?
Fantastic question. I will say, because since COVID, schools across the nation have seen about between 20 and 30% decline in attendance. That's just kind of been a cultural shift, and so schools across the nation, and Norman Public Schools and local schools are no different. We battle chronic absenteeism all the time, and we know that educating parents, re-educating them, how important it is that they come consistently, and they come on time. Those tiny habits that we form from pre-K on up are really important. So I would not say our attendance, yes, our attendance has slipped, but it's not because of the lack of the shift in this program. Great question.
Okay, Judy?
Well, Holly, I want you to know we get something out of this too. Those of us who've been going to the schools every month get to walk into an auditorium full of pre-K through 5th grade, bundling energy, and they come to order, they pledge the flag, they do all these, but the teachers there with their classes are enthusiastic. And so when anyone says public school, well, that, I say, you haven't been in a Norman school. And I am so proud of that. Okay, my real question is, I give away the Nooks now too. It was fun when we, just the bicycles, because if there was a police officer there, I'd say, would you come show the kids how to put on their helmets and how to buck? Because this is a new special thing. And of course the kids love that too. We hand out the Nooks. I don't know how to use a Nook. And so I asked our librarian there, I think he shows them, but what's the process so they can learn and use that Nook?
That's a great question. Thank you for that question. I agree with you. If you have not been in one of our elementary schools and you can't go necessarily at a time that we are celebrating reading with the success cycles, just email me. I will meet you at any elementary at any time, and we will go through, because it is just joy. We just get to be joyous all day long. So we do a couple of things. We take the Nooks out of their wrappers. We set them up for them. So we install the Sora app. We also have instructions that are written in English and Spanish. And then we invite the families, the parents, to come up and to meet with the librarian, with the student, so they can navigate that. And that's a new piece this year. Last year, we had instructions, we called the parents, we kind of talked them through it. But this year, we're inviting them in to be able to see, and we can show them and model how they can use them with their children.
Well, I heard you say that you're talking about in the bicycle program being 2 bikes per school.
Per semester.
Per semester?
Yes, sir.
Well, why isn't it 10 bikes per school per semester?
Right, would you like to answer?
And what would it take for it to be 10 bikes per school per semester?
A lot more money.
How much a lot more money? Just don't tell me, I'm an economist, just don't say a lot more money.
If we did 10 bikes per school, it'd probably be about another, I'm not sure exactly, but I'd say it's about $125, $1,250 per school. We do 9 schools, so that's $10,000, $12,250, all right? $12,250.
I would have said 15 to 20 grand.
Yeah,
An additional funds.
raise more money on our
Just
fundraiser.
because that would make it 5 times what it is now.
Okay.
Does that sound? One of us is close. We're not sure. Very
One idea I talked to Andy about, and concerning our assessment for our fundraiser, is we've got $150 that were allotted anyway. Why not for $250? Make it so you would be the one giving a bicycle to a student. Just an idea.
Okay, well, we will definitely talk about that idea. That's a great idea. Holly can stay a few minutes after, but we also have, we want to thank her and Nick. We have a big announcement to make ourselves for our club, so if we can have Joan come up here real quick before we end our meeting today. He could not be here earlier, that's why we're doing it at the end, so turn it over to you.
Since we're talking about money, the good news is today, on behalf of the Tour de Van board, I'm presenting a check for $9,200. This is those proceeds from this year's Tour de Van. I want to thank all of you all who were partners. We had, as a club, we had over 30 partners, that is supporters, $500 or more, which was by far more than any other club participated. So we're very grateful for that. John Waller wouldn't want me to do this, but since he's not here, I want to give, and you should give special thanks for John. John led the way with a $5,000 partnership to La Tour de Van this year, and it was really remarkable and unexpected. So, and to the rest of you who either gave a partnership or participated or volunteered, whatever, you all helped make it a really, really wonderful event. So thank you very much.
It's a big amount on a small check, that's what matters. So all of these dollars help us do our part to give back to the community and helps us throughout the year. So we really appreciate, I also was on the board for the Tour de Van with Joan as the co-chair, and I do want to give my heartfelt thank you to everyone that participated. Yes, Stephen, you had a question?
You're done, Nick.
Okay. Yes, and so I really wanted to say thank you again, heartfelt for myself as well. Joan and I worked diligently on that behind the scenes, and we appreciate everybody's support for that from Jim. Nick, you had a...
Yeah, so I'm going to challenge everybody. I appreciate the comments. Reading is the base for everything we do. And starting today, if anyone from this club goes and sets a tour of one of our schools, Polly, myself, or any of us, we do have new challenge points. And if you see anybody in Norman Public Schools with a challenge coin, that means they've toured our schools. That's the only way we get them. So if you set a meeting, we'll get you a coin, and it'll get you into games as well.
Okay. Great. All right. With that, I would like to thank Nick and Holly both for being here today. I'd also like to thank Carrie for joining them, and nice meeting you. I'd like to thank Jenny for returning back, yes. Charlie for returning as well. Zane for being here today. Lucas for coming with Jamie to support her, and myself. Thank you very much. Please, everybody take time to welcome Jamie on your way out or another time. And let's make some magic in our community. Obviously, we're doing a lot of great things. And with that, we'll do the coffee bean and be adjourned.